Hi there, Amy Parker here from Parker House Designs. I'm checking in today because it is, already into March. We're getting ready to switch the clocks this weekend. I can't tell you how excited I am. And, it's the time when everybody starts getting anxious about getting some projects done, right? So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was adding new paint colors to your house, because on the inside or the outside, it can just add a whole new, fresh perspective in general. Oftentimes people don't want to paint in the cooler months, especially indoors, because of the smell and could be overwhelming. And for all of us being home, you certainly didn't want to have to deal with that while you're trying to work and deal with, kids and homework and schooling and all of that. So this is a great time to throw the windows open, put a fresh coat of paint in a room, and be on your way for a nice uplift for spring. So what I wanted to talk about was paint colors, because this is always the question, right? I'm going to give you just a few tips today that I thought would be helpful. I took a class recently and it was really interesting because it talked a lot about the psychology of color. What colors do men and women really like? What are they drawn to? And what are the colors that they're not big fans of? So I'm going to fill you in on that. So the colors that people don't tend to like, so this is both men and women, are browns, orange, and purple, of all things. So keep that in mind. So if you're struggling with trying to choose a color with your significant other, whether it's a mate, whether it's a sibling, whether it's your parent that you're habitating with, try to sort out, what makes sense for both of you, right? So neutrals are always a huge plus. If you go with warm neutrals of any shade, you can do creams, you can do tan, you can do grays. There's like so many options out there. Just go with muted options because they're so much more soothing and relaxing if that's what you're trying to gain in your home. The other colors that are really great for both men and women are really drawn to blues and greens. And you may say, hey, yeah, one of those colors is my favorite, because green has always been one of my favorites. So there's a rationale behind that too. Like, that's just those colors that we're drawn to on the whole. And again, go with muted tones. And what I mean by that is something that looks a little more grayed out. It's not so bright and saturated in color. When you soften it a little bit with gray, it really makes rooms feel like, think about when you go to a spa. It's that soft tones that they use on the walls because they want you to relax. That's the whole point. So think about that in your home. One of the colors that I would highly recommend steering clear of and or asking for professional help in choosing is yellow. The reason for that is that yellow is a very agitating color to people, and it can be more agitating based on the saturation level and how bright and crazy it is. It's not a great color for kids' rooms. It's tough against woodwork, because if it's not the right tones, undertones in that yellow to go with your wood trim, it may feel really off. So if you've painted a room and it just doesn't feel right, that might be the reason why. You can find some really pretty soft yellows and or cream that are perfect, but I would seek out additional help if you're struggling to find the right yellow for your spaces. If you have any questions, if you want to schedule a color consultation, we can do that in an hour's time. I can come through your house, whether it's physically or virtually, and I can give you some great ideas on what you could use for colors in your own home. So that's my tips for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.